Hello friends, welcome to another colour along. Today we're colouring from Dragon Dreams and we're going to be colouring the sea dragon. This magnificent beast perched atop a rock in the ocean with a wonderful border. Because it's a sea dragon, I'm thinking of going like teals and greens to match the dark green sea and maybe a golden border. And before I start, I'm going to add a sheet of paper and make sure I've got a sheet of acetate under my page so that nothing bleeds through. I was going to colour this with Ohuhu markers, and I might start with the border, but before I do that, I'm going to find a pencil and I'm going to find a ruler because I want to contain my background. So I'm just going to lightly rule a line there and a line here, just in line with that. I've got a waterproof fine liner. And I don't want to use the ruler because I want these lines to sort of be a little bit thick and thin to match the illustration. Otherwise it'll look weird if I use a ruler for my ink. But the pencil lines give me a pretty good indication of where to go. There you go. I'll never know that I did that. Alright, let's look at this border. I'm going to start with a really light yellow. I've got a lemon chiffon here. I just want to get a base down for my light yellow. Now let's just test out a little bit on this little area here. So I've started with my lemon chiffon, work up through the yellows. This is a Canaria yellow. And I'm trying to do this while it's all still wet. So this is a lemon yellow. Just working up through the dark. So I'm hoping to make this look like it's gold a little bit. I'm going to finish off with a melon yellow, which is probably as orange as I want to get. I'm just going to hold that into the areas I think shadow is going to be. Maybe a touch here and there. I'm going to trying to bring a little bit of green into just the end. So I've got a lemon green here. I'm going to mint green light. I'm just going to touch the end of these leaves. And bring my lemon green back in just to knock that back and blend it a bit. All right, I think that's going to look great if we do it all around. So I'm just going to continue this all around here. So starting with the lemon chiffon. Then moving up through the yellows, I've got a Canaria yellow. And I'm sort of thinking the light's maybe coming through this way, so I'm going to leave my lemon chiffons. I like the lemon chiffons, it's got a little bit of a greeny vibe to it. This is the Canaria, of course. We're just starting to bring in, still sort of, doesn't have to be perfect. It can be really sort of almost rough. This is my lemon yellow. Because we're trying to get the reflections of gold, I guess. And then we'll finish it off with our melon. And we're really working into where these vines go underneath another vine. So there's a shadow, or emphasizing that shadow. And there's a little shadow that would happen there, I guess. Just being careful with this melon. Little highlights here and there. Bringing a lemon green in. Just on the tips of these leaves. I'm not sure about that mint green. I might just keep it in the gold. Go. This is the greenest. I go lemon green on the tips of those leaves. Just do those sword hilts and pommels and around the edge of the shield while we're there. Now I know Dragon Dreams is one of my earlier books, but I really love that book, Dragon Dreams, and I thought it would be a great thing to bring it back into focus by doing the colour alongs in it. That's the wonderful thing about having such a fun back catalogue. You can look back through the books and they're all full of fun and wonderful illustrations. So I'm looking forward to colouring in Dragon Dreams. I do love a good dragon. There are a number of fun dragons in my upcoming book that I'm working on at the moment. I don't seem to be able to help myself. Dragons and Mr. Fogarty. Obviously not in the same illustration. I don't know how Mr. Fogarty would cope with dragons. Not very well, I'm imagining. Well, that was our chiffon, lemon chiffon. Now I'm going to go to my Canaria. You could simplify this. You could just have Canaria and lemon yellow and some melon yellow. But I actually think that spending time playing with these borders is actually what colouring's all about. You don't want to do everything really quickly, do you? You want to really get into it. So getting all the little nuances of colour and highlights, especially with markers. And then we bring in our lemon. And finally, we're bringing in our melon. And as before, we're just going to bring out where those little shadow areas are. where the branches go under. And then pick out some tiny little glints of gold. Lemon green, just for the leaves. As if our gold border is, coming to life at the tips with growth. It's a dragon, so I'm sure it's a magical border. It's also going to help our border tie in with our tealy dragon that we're hoping to do. I think this key maybe is a gold key, so this is Canaria. This is our lemon yellow. This is our melon yellow. And while I've got those pens out, let's just add a little bit of convincing highlights to our shield and sword hilts. All right, I'm bringing back the lemon chiffon and we're going to do the top border. And here we go. We've got some weird sort of flower thing growing here. It's a temptation to bring some more colour into our border, isn't it? Because we can go back and do these flowers in a punchy colour, like a red or something. So I'm going to play with putting a deep green into the gaps in the back of this. So we've got a Lieberman green and a deep sky blue. Let's just play with that and see what it does. That's our Lieberman green. This is our deep sky blue. This is deep sky blue. Let's do half of this shield in that Lieberman green. It's only a subtle difference between these two greens, but it just looks a little bit more alive than if I was just to colour it all in one colour like the darker. So similar to what we were doing with the yellows, we're just trying to add movement and life into this green. This is still our Lieberman. And then back to our deep sky blue. This is Lieberman. Now deep sky blue. All right, let's talk about those flowers. Let's talk about some reds to play with. Coral pink, coral red, geranium. Let's test it out. Coral red and just a dab of geranium maybe. Let's get a lighter pink in. What have we got? Got our coral reds, our coral pink, and our vermilion. But I want to bring more life in, so maybe a pastel rose. Maybe let's go full dark blush. I'm just worried that these reds are disappearing, so I want to highlight. See if this dark blush can suck out some of that red. I'm going to make these red just to follow. All right, that's our dark blush. Let's go straight to the coral red. Even the little bits of dark blush we're letting sit through is just lifting those flowers for us, which is what I was hoping for. And we'll jump straight to a geranium. And I'm not putting much at all, just a little dab here and there. All right, this is our mahogany. And I'm going to add some mahogany to this handle. All right, I have some light greys here. I've got a neutral grey 023 and a neutral grey 041. And I'm just going to get the metal bits of our weapons. This is the lighter one, 023. Yeah, swords probably need to be. And this is a darker. Now we do have a scroll and a skull in these corners. So we need some, we've got some cream color and some shell white. Well, I think the next thing we're going to do is the dragon. And I'm going to bring some of these yellows maybe into the extremities. So I think it should be a tealy and gold dragon. And then I'm going to go to my my Canaria yellow, sorry. I think I'm going to stop there and bring in some of that yellow green. Lemon green. That's what it was, wasn't it? Because I'm going to transition to a green. Right, I've got a horizon green here. I'm just going to see if I can't bring a little bit of that horizon green in. Whilst not losing, this is our yellow, no, lemon green. Horizon, let's see if we can get some of that darker. Or I think we do lemon green because I'm thinking the underbelly scales, we go with our golds. We want a little bit of that to tie it together, don't we? So we've got our lemon green and this is our horizon green. I'm going to bring in now a mint green light. I'm being very careful around the head. And I'm thinking that we can bring some of that mint green light in over the top of that horizon. I'm just sort of spotting it in, try and give the effect of these scales. Well, I'm going to bring some of these lighter ones back in around the shoulder here. So this is my lemon chiffon. And then I'm going to bring some lemon green. Lemon chiffon. Lemon green. And then I'm going to play with my horizon. And then a mint green light, just to tie it all in. Right, I'm just going to get some lemon green into these spines on his back, her back. Probably a her. I think it's a her. And while I'm here and remember what I'm doing, I'm going to do that lemon chiffon into that leg, followed by the lemon green. Followed by a horizon. And then a mint green light. And I might bring some mint green so we can get it a bit darker under here. Maybe even some forest green. All right, lemon chiffon. We'll continue these spines down. And once again, our lemon green is going to... I'm leaving the lemon chiffon to be highlights. Well, I got that lemon green out. That's what we did over here. We're going to bring in, because I'm going to planning to do these gold underbellies, so I'm going to bring in this transition color, I guess you call it. I'm going to find my horizon green and just play that back in. Now, mint green light, let's bring that in. All right, I'm going to forest green to bring some a little bit darker green up towards the top. I'm going to put a little bit more mint green light up here above the eye, carefully, and even some forest green. All right, let's finish this off. I think the tail should be lemon chiffon. And we'll blend that back in with some lemon green. Similar to what we did at this end. Then we'll bring in our horizon green, sorry. So yeah, even though we're colouring over with the horizon green, that yellow green that we put down is adjusting that blend so the colour's showing through. And when we bring in our mint green light, which we're not bringing in a flat colour, we're sort of dabbing it in to indicate those scales. And then finally our forest green. Lemon chiffon. Let's get, what are you going to do? The same sort of thing, but with, oh, that was Canaria yellow. Oh, wrong color. Ah, looks good, doesn't it? Let's do this. Let's continue on. Now we'll get our lemon chiffon. It's got a little bit of green in it, doesn't it, that lemon chiffon? So that'll make our wings convincing. Lemon green. Because we don't want our wings to be monochromatic, do we? Want light and shade and all sorts of life to be coming through those wings. I think maybe on the tips here we put some of that Canaria yellow. Just a touch. All right, I'm going to play with a little bit of horizon green. See how we go with that. Not too much. Really, really want to go lightly with this. All right, let's get some lemon chiffon onto our underbelly. This is where I want to bring in the same gold we did for our border. This lemon chiffon, and I'm bringing in some Canaria. I just want to leave little slivers of that chiffon. Right, here's where we need to be careful. I'm going to bring in a lemon yellow. And very softly and carefully get some melon yellow in there as well. Just a touch of it in there, maybe. Maybe even a few little spots here. I've got my neutral grey 023, and I'm going to use the shell white, which we used on our skull, for these clouds. So I'm going with the lighter one, the neutral grey. It's a light grey. Let's just play with that a bit and see how it looks. Looks pretty dark. Let's get a lighter one. Got an 021 here. All right, this is my shell white, which I'm hoping will give us a sort of warm the grey up a bit and be able to give us a bit of shadowing. I want to mix these while they're wet, so I'll go back and do that section. This is our shell white, which we're adding in just to give some life. It's also got a little bit of that yellowy that we've used in our dragon and our border, so that should help tie the clouds into our illustration. Oh, I think we need to make this rock. I'm going to maybe base it with that shell white, which is here, and bring in some red grey. Shell white, buttercup yellow, red grey. Let's play with that down here, see what it does. That's our shell white. Here's our buttercup yellow. I think that would work. Let's play with it. Let's keep going. Let's run with it. That's what I needed to say. Buttercup yellow. And a little bit of red grey. And a red-grey. More of our shell white. All right, I think we're doing great. We're getting there. We'll keep pushing. We've got some darker, I want this darker ocean. So I've got some Lieberman green and some deep sky blue, which I'm going to play with the water. Let's play with this section. This is my deep sky blue. And this is my Lieberman green. Oh, it's horizon green. Let's get that horizon green in for these. That's our Lieberman green. Let's bring some of that forest green in. This is what we used for the dark part of our dragon. And I'm just going to repeat that on the other side. And the stripes are going horizon green. Then we're going with our deep sky blue, alternating stripes with the Lieberman green. And then forest green again, we're just going to bring a little bit of shadowy, lighty streaks into our water, into our waves here. quickly get our colourless blender into that. I'm just going to rub that colourless blender in. It's picked up some of that light blue. It's just a bit too stark white in the middle there, so if I can fill that in, it'll take some of that blue, put it in there for us. So we've got a really subtle sky. All right, I've got a neutral grey 051. It's like a mid grey. Just going to give him some black toenails. And this is my neutral grey 040. I just want to add in a little bit of shadow. Especially where the dragon wraps around the rock. I'll add some shadow to that back leg, maybe some to here. All right, I'm going to get this frost blue. Just add a little bit of life to these waves. I'm bringing in a jelly roll. And I want to make these little things that have got filled in actually white, whilst not losing the black key line too much. So I'm just fixing up where we've had a lot of bleed, because I think it's important that these white waves and splashes really stand out. We use that coral pink that we used earlier just to give us a touch of pink inside that mouth. I'm going to put a tiny bit of horizon green on that eye. And I think we can give ourselves some highlights. All right, let's just do a little bit more tweaking. I've got some white acrylic paint here. Just put a little dab of that and get a brush that's filled with water. Nice stiff bristled brush so I can get some flick on. And I think, there's going to be some water spray. Not too much, just a little bit. You know what? I'm going to say that's finished, boys and girls. Dragon Dreams. A sea dragon. I'm very happy with my little green dragon. And I really enjoyed all of that. Hope you enjoyed it too. Thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate your support. Remember to subscribe and like. Leave a comment below. I'll say goodbye for now, but I shall no doubt see you in another video. See you guys. Catch you next time.